Good morning, everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ininu, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Carrie Linklater, and I am your chairperson today. And on the panel, I am joined by Mr. Robert Balenki, and by Zoom, Faye Branson. Our assessor today is Arka Idarkanov, and he is also on Zoom. And our admin secretary is Mr. Stephen Lunn. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The board is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. And as information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 1 through 14 on our docket today. Mr. Lund, if you can swear in the applicant and the assessor.
Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Arka Idarkanov.
You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
Thank you. Madam Applicant, would you please stand? You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning, Arka.
Morning.
And good morning, Ms. Newfeld. Good morning. And Arka is going to lead us off. Whenever you're ready.
So, I always get confused with what exactly the property is item number 1 on the docket, unless I am
Yes, I'm
with an
sorry.
updated.
Yes, 1610 Lee Boulevard.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so subject property is 1610 Lee Boulevard, roll number 03-06-2467000. Subject property is located in Waverly B neighborhood. And it's a one-story single dwelling that was built in 1977 with a living area of 1,887 square feet. It has a full basement and the finished and it has a basement finish. It has one full bathrooms, two half bathrooms, one shower, central air conditioner, one fireplace, single attached garage. Attached garage, single, detached garage, multiple. No swimming pools, no sunrooms. Lot size for subject property is 124,435 square feet or 2.86 acres. Land influences are no sewer, no water. 2023 assessment is $425,000. I have provided two sets of comparables for subject property. Page 1 would be improved sales and page 2 is vacant land sales. So for comparables, improved comparables, comparable 1, 2, and 3 are all in the Waverly West B neighborhood, similar to subject property. Comparable 1 is 112 Cadboro. It's a bi-level single dwelling built in 1975. Smaller, 1,187 square feet. Has a full basement and a basement finish. One full bathroom, two half bathrooms, two showers, central air conditioner, one fireplace, and a multiple detached garage. Smaller lot size, only 43,574 square feet. 1 acre. Land influences are all similar across subject property and all the comparables. They're all no sewer, no water. Comparable number 1 sold in 2019, December, for $440,000. Time adjusted value of comparable sale, comparable number 1 is $473,900. Comparable 2 is 88 Cadboro, one-story single dwelling built in 1993. 1,740 square feet, similar, very close to subject size of the subject property. Full basement with a basement finish, two full bathrooms, one half bathroom, one shower, central air conditioner, and attached multiple garage. Also smaller lot, which is 43,573 square feet, which is rounded to be 1 acre. Property sold in May of 2019 for $515,000, and time adjusted sale price is $556,700. Comparable number 3, 68 Cadboro, one-story single dwelling built in 1999, 1,773 square feet, full basement and the basement finish. 2 full bathrooms, one half bathroom, one shower, central air conditioner, one fireplace, attached multiple garage, and it had a sunroom. Again, smaller lot, only 1 acre, 43,553 square feet, sold for $600,000 in October of 2019, and time adjusted sale price for $646,800. Page 2 of my report, I provided vacant land sales, and as stated before, subject property has 2.86 acres or 124,435 square feet. Vacant land comparable number 1, and just note, all of the vacant land comparables are in the same neighborhood as subject property, which is Waverly West B. So it's a 2-acre parcel sold for $300,000 in 2020. Comparable number 2 is on Form B Avenue. So comparable number 1 doesn't have a street address, but it's within the neighborhood, within the NCA, and the roll number for comparable 1 is 0309-300-8920. So that's a 2-acre parcel sold in June of 2020 for $300,000. Comparable number 2 is on Form B Avenue. It's a 3-acre parcel sold for $451,500 in $2019 September. And comparable number 3 is on Lee Boulevard. It's a 5-acre parcel sold for $570,038 in June of 2018. And comparable number 4 is on Albright Road. it's a 6.77 acres parcel sold in April of 2018 for $1,013,550. All of the comparables have same influences of no sewer, no water. In my note, I place most weight on comparable number 2, it being very similar in size to subject property, as well as comparables 3 and 4 are multi-role sales and display total combined land area for the parcels involved in the transaction. Land assembly maps for comparables 3 and 4 are provided below. So my following page provides an aerial view of subject property. Okay, next page is a map of improved comparables. So again, we can see their subject property, and right north of it on Cadboro, 3 comparable sales, improved properties. Comparable 1, 2, and 3 are all on Cadboro. Now, next page are map of comparable sales of vacant land. And as you can see, again, we can see Lee Boulevard with the subject property and vacant land comparable sales. If you note, those are vacant land comparable sales are not only do not have sewer and water, they also do not have street access. So they are under improved. They do not have services as far as access at this point, and hence would be considered inferior at this point in time to subject property. Okay. My next page, and I just wanted, this is based on the note as part of the land assembly. The area is widely, where subject property is located, is widely sought for by developers. Developers are buying land there, and you can see it in even evidence provided by the applicant. And they buy land, whether it's one parcel or multiple parcels for future development. So the value of subject property is its highest and best use is future development, and we should consider the value as what would be the most reasonable sale price of subject property at the reference date. And I'll continue on the page 4 that says land assembly map of comparable 3. I provided an 2 parcels that made up that land multiple parcel sale for the purposes of land assembly by developers. And following page is comparable number land assembly map of comparable number 4. You can see 3 parcels that were included in that sale. So, and that's how comparable number 3 is listed as 5-acre parcel and comparable number 4 as 6.77 acre parcel. And so 2023 assessment of subject property is $425,000. Regardless of what improvement is on the property, the value is in the land, and developers are willing to pay anywhere between $2.61 per square foot to $3.45 per square foot. Subject property in its current condition is with assessed value of $425,000 is assessed for as a vacant $3.42 per square foot for land for the parcel size of 2.86 acres. It would be superior to any other comparable sales of vacant land provided in my report, due to its access to Lee Boulevard, due to its ability to generate rent if necessary by the developers while they wait for development. And that is my recommendation is to maintain the 2023 assessed value of $425,000. It is supported both by vacant land sales and as well as improved sales. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do you have any questions of the assessor, what he's just stated?
No, I have no questions, but I was very pleased that he recognizes that sales that have been happening, they are by developers, and I would like to expand upon that when it's by operators.
Of course. Mr. Malinky, did you have any questions of the assessor?
I have no questions of the assessor.
Thank you. Ms. Branson, did you have any questions of the assessor?
So just to be clear, you've included two sets of comparables just to indicate the value of both the home and buildings as well as the land. That's all I'm trying from that.
Yes, so there's two sets of comparables. Page one is improved sales, and it consists of three comparables, and all of them are on Cadboro, and those are improved sales. Page two is vacant land comparable sales, and it's actually headed. It has a heading as such, vacant land comparable sales report, and those are vacant land sales that took place in the area.
And you didn't calculate separately for the land and versus the part of the property with buildings upon it. You're just demonstrating why the land is so valuable.
Well, the vacant land sales on my comparable sales report are selling for higher values and I guess selling for similar price per square foot as subject properties land size, whether improved or vacant. The value is in the land, and in my that's where I believe the assessment is well supported.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. Arca, did you happen to bring the MLS listings for your comparables 1 through 3?
I do not have MLS listings, and not every property has MLS listings. My search engine doesn't specify whether subject property doesn't always specify that whether property has sold on MLS or not. So I right now, just looking at this report, I cannot tell you whether any of those three properties were listed on MLS or not.
Okay, so you can't speak to the condition of your comparables then?
No, and as I think I indicated that condition of comparables or condition of subject property is irrelevant because the value is in the land.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. If you'd like to proceed with your presentation.
Thank you. Yes, regarding the developer's interest in the area. It was back in about 2017, mid 2017, we started getting letters from the city that the 400 plus acres between Waverly and Kenniston and Bridgewater and South Point were going to be developed. So yes, one of the first meetings that it was pointed out to us that because a lot of the lots are 1 acre plus, that people could subdivide and a developer will put 6 to 8 homes on an acre. So naturally the hope was that everyone would see dollar signs. Well, obviously some of the developers have, because they have been acquiring the lands over on Cadboro, and these sheets that we were given with the comparables, it is an actual ideal comparison to show you that center area where all this development is happening. And as you will see, all of those Cadboro properties and the vacant lands are nestled right in where everything is. Lee Boulevard, when the city planning committee, what we understood was once everything was approved and written, there were going to be some bylaws or some limitations for existing land homes and landowners. And one of those limitations are we are considered Lee Estates. And I'm not sure where Lee Estates begins and ends, but I know my property is in it and the farmer at the far end is in it. But two of the 3 houses that have sold on our street, One is the very first one closest to Waverly. It's not in the estates. And the last two at the far end are not either. So yes, the developers want those because they can now take those lots and put multiple homes on them. The estates is limited to any subdivision. If it is subdivided, a lot can be no larger than half an acre. So my neighbors across the street, they have 1 acre. They could only ever consider selling off half of theirs and remaining on the other half. Again, these other properties we're comparing to today, that's a whole different ball of wax, or as I mentioned, apples to oranges. That old saying, that tired old saying. But that is a concern of mine. We have never been approached. This is, in fact, over 10 years ago, back in prior to 2011, I remember it first came out in the newspaper about the development happening. And people used to joke at us that, oh, you're going to have someone come. And I keep saying, nobody has come to the door with a suitcase full of money. And that is exactly the way it has happened to this day, 10 years plus. There has never been any interest shown in our property. So I think that to compare it as an open comparison, our hands are somewhat tied compared to these properties that have sold and the owners that were fortunate to get on the market when they did. And as you were asking about the MLS listings, I am pretty sure that they were not even listed, that it was a case of the developer stepped in, because I know that developers were going to landowners on the outskirts, on the edges of all of this, right from the very get-go. So again, those are comparisons that I don't believe are valid in my world as I view it. Another thing that I was mentioning in my presentation is I feel that some of the land conditions around me would be a deterrent to anybody. And I guess I put myself in their boots, that if I were looking at a home, if I were to come in and look at the 5 acres of uncontrolled weeds and flooding issues that are right around me, you sort of think twice or 3 times before investing. And again, with the investing, I keep saying too, if anybody were to come to me today or tomorrow or next week or next year to buy, they're looking at still having to put sewer and water in. And I've been told that my property, I could be looking at $60,000 plus. So again, as I said, these extra costs looming over. Typically, someone likes to buy a place that's a turnkey operation. I'm sorry, but mine is not. And I will admit, when I first started this, I was really hung up on the whole concept of the detached garage and thinking that I really don't have a detached garage. But I stood out there the other day and looked at what is out there and has to be off the ground. And one whole area we walk on pallets to keep out of the water. And yes, it does have some value. It just may not have quite as much value as is typically a given to a detached garage. There's no vehicles that can be stored in it. All there is stuff that, yes, I should be going out there. Since my husband just passed away, I go out there, I look at it, I get overwhelmed and I go back to the house. But I need to get out there and get sorting, and a lot of it needs to go to urban line and a lot of it needs to go to the garbage can. So it's on me that I haven't done anything about tearing the buildings down, because that's the logical situation for something below grade as this is. So again, I guess I just keep harping on I don't really paint myself with the same paintbrush as what a developer would be interested in, because their hands would be somewhat tied as to what they could do. I was told by one of the gentlemen from the city planning that everything on the north side of Lee Boulevard, which is where Cadborough Road is, that whole development, Bison Run, I believe it's called, is going to be a new development, whereas everything on the south side of the street where I am, that when development happens, it has to tie in with similarity to South Point. So I guess when it comes to trying to change home styles or change, I don't know enough about development to know what that would be, but there again, that sort of limits any developer's interest in us on the south side of the street, in my view.
Okay. Parka, did you have any questions of the applicant?
Yes, a couple of questions right away. So I kind of had a question about how many, you mentioned there is a limitation in development, about something about half an acre. Is it half an acre per parcel at least or at most? Like if you subdivide the parcel, it should be at least half an acre or no more than half an acre?
My understanding was the maximum and minimum, I think it was. Or basically it cannot be any smaller than half an acre is what it amounts to.
Yeah, okay.
Stay with what they call the estates as a larger.
I see. So
property.
your parcel, of course, is a bit more than 1 acre, right? So it's 2.86 acres.
Yes.
So you can, in my end, so would you be able to subdivide it into like 3 or 4 lots, or maybe 5?
Not for some time. I had a conversation last week with James. No, it was another gentleman, Robert Gelston from City Planning called. And I asked him what would happen if I were to sell the property today. He said the only sale that can be made on my land would be for same use. There could be no changes. It cannot be subdivided. We cannot do any subdivision until water and sewer are on the street. And there's not even been a vote, a petition, a request, anything of that. There's been no whispers of that yet. Our street is still gravel. Our section is still gravel. Pavement has come to probably 2 doors away from me because for access to the Bison Run development. But yeah, again, my hands are tied, and anyone buying my property, their hands are tied too. So until that expense of bringing the water and sewer in happens, nothing can be. I'm landlocked, basically. And not that I plan on doing any of that. I keep saying I'm sitting on the fence.
Arca, any more questions?
Yeah, just are you aware of any land sales south of your? I understand south of you, like any parcels that have sold, vacant land parcels that have sold on let's say Medina Avenue.
No, I am not. I am only aware of the 3 homes on my street, the first and the last 2 on the opposite side of the street. And I had a conversation recently with neighbors on the same side as me, and again, they've been contacted by no one, as myself, contacted by no one.
Okay, then as far as condition of your property, I guess we did the inspection of your property a couple of years ago. I'm talking about your house, right? So
Right.
your house is has anything changed since then in your residence?
Nothing whatsoever. The only thing I do notice that's changed seems to be in your records that when I was last here in 2019, the house size was 1,870 feet. And now in your records, it's showing 1,887 feet. Whenever we used to do the calculation, we always came back to a straight 1,800 square feet. So it seems to be getting bigger and nothing is happening at my end.
Okay, well, I guess I can only look into it. However, when have you looked at any comparable sales for of the properties that you can speak of to support your assessed to support or to dispute the assessed value?
No, I haven't. I was certainly aware of the sales on Cadborough Road, but I looked at them and I'm going to sound like a stuck record. I just thought I cannot compare them as an exact same application because those were purchased with the idea of development. Any sale of my property would be for a living purpose, for someone to be living there, not to be making money off of it the way those purchasers are probably 99% likely to be doing. So no, my case is weak in that point that I cannot counter your comparisons.
Those are all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have questions?
I have no questions.
Ms. Bronson, did you have any questions of the applicant?
I do. So, Ms. Neufeld, do you have I understand what you're saying about the one building that's characterized as a garage, which experiences the flooding and has the boards down. Do you also have a functional garage in which you park a vehicle?
I have an attached garage on the house. I have a pickup parked in it, and I have 2 other vehicles sitting outside in the yard because I have no structure, no safe dry structure to put those in.
Okay. And you're saying that right now your understanding from city planning is that if you were to sell the house, there couldn't be any rezoning. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
But somebody could potentially buy this property from you and then bring an application to rezone it?
Only whenever water and sewer come to the street.
Okay. To your knowledge, it's okay if you don't know this, to your knowledge, a developer could potentially buy this property, apply for rezoning and make some sort of servicing and water agreement with the city?
Quite likely, again, that is out of my realm of knowledge.
Okay. And then my last question for you, Ms. Neufeld, is with respect to the nearby homes that have been sold that you're aware of on Cadborough Road, are these homes being demolished?
The first one has been. It started by people up on the roof taking and I remember there were metal shingles put on that roof many, many years ago. It was dismantled piece by piece. The windows were taken out, and it wasn't until the final concrete was left that the bulldozers came in. And as of the last month, all the trees have been bulldozed off the property, and it is far removed from its former appearance.
Okay, so just so I understand, from your perspective, if your property was to be sold, someone would buy it to live in it, but it is conceivable that a developer could buy it and rezone it, get servicing on water, demolish the property, and subdivide.
Down the road, yes, but I think they would be looking at probably a 3 to a 5 year hold before that would be possible.
Understood. Thank you. No more questions.
And we've got a few more years of assessments changing. So yes, there will be probably other opportunities or other times when things may change.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Branson. Just to clarify, you stated that you haven't done anything to your property, any improvements since the previous assessment?
No, there's been weather strip on the overhead garage door that was replaced, but nothing.
Oh, nothing.
No.
All right.
Just maintenance. And
Okay.
now I've got the Greener Homes coming in September to see about windows and things like that. So that would be the next thing. But no.
No. Okay. Thank you. Arca, I'm just going to redirect to you.
Yes.
This area is under Fort Garry.
Excuse me. Under Fort Garry as
I just want to confirm the increase from the previous assessment on.
oh, I see. I believe it's under boy. It's west of Pembina. Oh. I did not bring the map. I'm sorry for drawing a blank here. I wanna say it probably no. It cannot be St. James. It's probably I think you're right. It's most likely is Fort Garry.
Is it Waverly West? That's what my comparable sheet indicates.
Well, she asked about larger area, like
Oh, I'm sorry.
West is NCA, and just give me 1 second.
Okay. Thank you. That's all my questions. And thank you very much for coming out this morning.
Thank you. And what I was going to mention too is You ask if anything's been done to the house. There is a water issue in the basement, but I've been trying to get people to come and take a look at it. So I cannot give any information as to what it's going to cost to repair it. I've been waiting 4 weeks for a carpenter to come and remove some molded drywall. So
Okay.
I don't have any confirmed details, but yes, I'm looking at changes at costs, not changes.
Right, right. Okay, well, good luck with that.
Thank you for your time. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And we are going to move on to 58 Parkwood Bay.
The applicant, she's connecting.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Mr. Khan, if you'd please unmute and I will affirm you. Please state your full name.
My name is Fahad Khan.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah, Ifam.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Khan.
Good morning.
Arca, whenever you are ready, if you would like to read out the roll, please.
So, okay. So, street address of subject property is 58 Barkwood Bay, roll number 0309 2980255. It's in South Point area, and it's a building type is cab over. Building code is single dwelling, 2015 year build, and 2015 effective age. 1,604 square feet living area, full basement, and basement finish. At the time of when the report was prepared, actually, yeah. Yeah, I'll speak on it later. So basement finish is no. Full bathroom is 2 full bathrooms. Central air conditioner. It says no on my report. However, my conversation with the property owner has confirmed that there is a presence of air conditioner at this time, and I will elaborate on it a bit later. So yes, there is a base air conditioner, attached multiple garage, and that's it. So there is no detached garages, no in-ground swimming pools, no sunrooms. Lot size 4,723 square feet. Land influences commercial adjacent hydro transformer box. 2023 assessment roll for $450,000. Comparables 1, 2, and 3. Comparables 1 through 4 are all in the same neighborhood of South Pointy. They're all cab overs. They have been built in close to the year built of subject property. So comparable 1 is 2013. Comparable 2 is 14, comparable 3 is 15, and comparable 4 is 17. Comparables 1, 2, and 3 are almost identical square footage. Comparable 4 is slightly larger. None of the comparables have basement finish. And overall, as far as bathroom counts, they're all very similar except for comparable number 2 also has a shower. All of the comparables have air conditioners, and comparable 1 and 3 also have fireplaces. Lot sizes are okay. So lot size is slightly larger than subject property, and they all have influences that would affect the value negatively. So they have bus route and medium traffic influences or commercial adjacent influences. Subject property is currently assessed at $450,000, which is $280.55 per square foot. Comparables range from $245.99 per square foot to $305.68 per square foot, time adjusted. In subject sales, subject did sell on MLS right before the April 1st, 2021 reference date, and it's January 27th, 2021 sale of $461,000. I asked the board to maintain the 2023 assessment of $450,000. Page 2 provides MLS expert from MLS listing about subject property sale. So on there you can see a list date of January 14, 2027 and sale date of January 1st, January 27th of 2021 for $461,000. Okay, and the last page has a map. So I think, in my opinion, comparables are similar to subject property in building type, size, and land influences, and both comparables and the subject property sale support the assessed value of $450,000. Subject property does have two pending permits. One is for air conditioner and one is for basement finish. So property owner took out permits to do the job. I spoke to property owner about it, and at the time it would appear that basement is has had some finish done to it, but not everything is done. I believe he mentioned that the floors were done, but he has to redo them once again because of some installation error. I advised property owner at the time with my conversation with him to perhaps wait with an appeal of subject property until basement finish is done. So property owner at that time decided to go on with the assessed value, to continue with current appeal of current assessed value, and then deal with any potential supplementary notices that may be issued based on basement finish a permit that has been done. So in that respect, again, my comparables and subject sales support the assessed value of $450,000, and I ask the board to confirm it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Khan, do you have any questions of the assessor, what he's just presented?
Yes, I have. Can I proceed?
Yes, please.
So my first question is that what do you mean by the commercial adjacent? While I don't see any commercial property beside my house or like the back side of my house.
Okay, so your question is your property having commercial adjacent, right?
Yeah.
Is there a hydro box behind your property?
Yeah.
That's commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, even though it's more or less kind of like more like a park setting, more than a commercial, but officially it is a commercial.
because for the hydro box you are mentioning it separately, and because when I bought my house, commercial adjacent was not in the property influence, only the hydro box was there, but I don't know when it came up, the commercial adjacent.
Yeah, sorry, just give me
these
1
are
second.
same thing, then why you are mentioning both of these?
Oh,
like
sorry,
hydro box?
sorry. It is my mistake about the hydro box. Your property backs into a multifamily. That is where the commercial is.
Pardon me?
Your property backs into a multifamily development, right?
Oh, yeah. For the condos, you say that the commercial adjacent?
Yeah.
Okay. So my other thing is that when you compare my property with your other comparables, and you see that the fourth one, it has higher lot size, bigger living area, and from every aspect it has better than my my property, and then you are putting it 456.
Well, that's how much it's sold for, right? I am not putting it at anywhere. That's comparable.
It was not sold for
days.
456. It was the for the reference date you put is 456.
Yeah, time adjustment from 435 to 456. Yeah.
But for my house, which is lower than that from every aspect, you are putting 450, which I think that's unfair because this is only 6,000 difference, But if you see in the features, the lot size significantly higher, the living area significantly higher than my house. And when you see in my evidence, and the second one is 251 Team Sale Drive, and you are putting the adjust price is 452, which is 2000 difference, but its lot size is double than my lot size, and its living area is 200 or about 300 square feet higher than my house.
Yeah, so
And
what
there-
is your question is about the I guess, why is it so low, or
Yeah,
what is your question?
yeah, the
Well,
adjust price is close to my house, while my house has less
Yeah.
features, or it has like less area in square feet.
Yeah, I understand that. So again, like 51 Finchfield, comparable number 4. Yes, it
Yeah.
is 2007 build,
Yeah.
2017 build, which is square footage is a bit larger for living area as well as lot size. And it sold for $435,000. It's in 2020. So oftentimes in your area of South Point, Bridgewaters, interior finishes of subject property determine the price people are willing to pay for it. So some properties, even though they do have larger lot sizes, larger living areas, just because they have used inferior interior finishes would dictate the sale price. And there is other comparable sales that would show that smaller properties or similar properties to yours selling for higher dollar value. Again, determine that is a lot of times of interior finish choices that were put initially into the construction affect the value. Some properties have cheaper kitchens or bathrooms. Others have more higher-end kitchens and bathrooms, higher-end flooring. All of those things put together affect the sale price. Like for like you yourself purchased the property, your own property in January of 2021. So you probably did give it some thought why you paid 461 to it, right? So there was perhaps a reason for it. But anyway, that will be my question and later. Do you have any other questions, or did I give you your answer?
No, because you don't have any evidence of the interior finish for my house or the other house, because my house is only basic. There's no like no upgradation in the washroom, no like kind of.
Mr. Khan, this is just questions right now to the assessor of the information he's provided. So what you're saying now is part of your presentation, which will be next. But if you don't have any further questions for the assessor, we'll just move on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Malinky, did you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay. Ms. Branson, did you have any questions of the assessor?
No questions.
Okay. Arka, I just have one question. You indicated, I believe, that the basement, there was a permit taken out?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
When was
so when was the permit taken out?
yes.
Okay, let's see.
In 2021.
October 2021 for the basement and May 2022 for air conditioner.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. Mr. Khan, if you'd like to proceed with your presentation.
Yeah. So in my evidence, I have mentioned like all of those houses which are same style in the same Fort Garry region. And I also mentioned a focus on the adjusted sale price. So for my property, they are putting 450,000. And for the other houses, which I already mentioned, that those are in some or in some situation or in like all of those aspects, those are better than my property, and their values are very close to my assessed value. So I would recommend that it should not be that much, because it seems like it's unfair to me. And as my assessor told me that the interior finishes. So, but in the letter, when they give me how to compare the sales, they mentioned the sizes of the living area, the lot sizes, and I can't compare the other houses. Like for example, 51 Finchfield, a common man can't find the interior finishes and can't compare. It's not possible. That's why I just put my lot sizes and the like air conditioner installed or fireplace. That what I can see from the sales data of the city. So that's what I recommend, that it should not be that much. It should be like not 450. It should be like 430 without air conditioner and without the basement.
Okay, thank you. Arca, did you have any questions?
Yeah, so so yours, from what I understand, your last sentence, your last part of your presentation were that without air conditioner and without basement, correct?
Yes.
But air conditioner currently is there, correct?
But my assessed value is based on April 2021, but my air conditioner is installed in 2022.
Actually,
So
it is assessed value is based on the current condition of your property in April 2021 market.
Yeah.
So you probably, I guess. So currently, do you have air conditioner installed in your house?
Yeah, currently I have.
And what is the situation with the basement finish?
Yeah, basement is not completely finished because I was doing it by myself and my friend was helping. And because of the workload, and I couldn't complete it, like as I can't work full time. So as my assessor told you that the flooring need to be done, it's not in its final position, and the kind of the paint and the countertop that need to be done.
So what
So I
has
will
been
update
done so
that to the
far?
city, because yeah, I have some time from city that I can finish it. So
And what has been done so far? Have you installed the bathrooms, rooms,
yeah,
ceiling?
bathrooms installed, yeah, but not the let's say the same part, the vanity. It need to be installed. So because after flooring, we want to install that one. The bathtub is there, yeah. These kind of things are there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the ceiling and stuff already installed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you, I guess, purchase your property in January of 2021 for $461,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So,
we were living in the apartment, and at that time I mentioned in my evidence that it was a boom in the market, and that's why we bought the house. So it is a better option for my kids to play in a big location. That's why we bought it, and we have some savings for that, and that's why we spent some money on the basement. And that's I requested that if you are putting a lot of the taxes, then it would be out of our budget, and we have no choice to go back in the apartment building or like to sell this house.
yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
And when you did buy the house, when you shopped around for the house, did you shop around for the house, or did you just buy this house and that was it?
This is the only house I bought in my life.
No, did you shop around before you bought the house?
Shop around?
Yeah. Did you look at other houses?
A couple of houses. The realtor took me to a couple of houses. Yeah.
Okay.
And when I started my search, the new houses I was getting at that time, like maybe like 4,000. Okay, but when after a month it was like a boom, like it went to 460, like what I purchased.
Yeah.
But in the
So
very point I was looking at that time, same kind of house, the builder was giving me like 4,000 value for the same house.
you mean
That's what-
400,000, right?
Yeah, that's the point that it was a sudden boom in the market, and then luckily I had that money at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you should consider that point as well,
No,
because
like,
there was a house in front of me. It was on sale, 55 Barfoot Bay, and there was like 3 or 4 open houses. It was not selling, but now it has been sold. But before that, when there was a boom, the prices were higher and it was sold higher than the asking prices.
yeah.
But now there are no buyers here.
So were there less expensive houses at the time when you were looking for the house and you just bought the more expensive one, or in your area?
Yeah, I was not specified in this area. I checked in like River Park South,
Okay.
that side, but those were like better houses. But the condition I found that it's better for this one, and the school was close, so that things I considered at later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and when, if not focusing on 51 Finchfield Court,
Mhm.
but looking overall
Yeah.
at overall market, including your house, would you agree that
For the Drew Street,
450 is well
yeah.
supported or not?
Yeah, for the Drew Street, I would say that, for example, I appeal to the board to review my case. Some of the people, when they get assessment from the taxation or assessment department, they don't care because they have a lot of budget and they say, okay, if it's going from 420 or 430 to 450, we will be okay. But for me, because I'm a student and it really affects on my budget, that's why I appeal. So I probably think that for the Drew Street houses, the comparison 1, 2, and 3, they may not went into the appeal and their prices went rises.
Excuse me?
I'm saying that for the comparison 1, 2, and 3, for
Yeah.
your comparison 1, 2, and 3,
Yes.
maybe they didn't appeal in their life to stop the value, stop the assessment value. That's why it keep increasing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. But
That I
those
think,
are, yeah, those are
because
sale
in my
prices,
case,
though,
if
right?
I don't, yeah, in my case, if I was not able to appeal, you set this like 450, and next time maybe after the basement you will take it like 480 or 470. But I'm trying to stop it so it not affect on my budget or like on my expenses.
No.
And I also have given you the proofs like for 251 and like 51 Finch. So those are also in the market and the lower values. It's not, I'm not saying, and when I started, it was like 407, but I'm saying that it should be increased. Like that looks feasible to me, like it should be like 430 without the air condition. And I know you will increase the amount with the air condition as well. And that's okay with me, but without air condition, I suggest the value of 430.
One more question, like on page 2 of your report, like at the back, you provided a list of comparable sales, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in there is lots of sales listed, including your sale, right? Like it starts with 58 Barkwood Bay highlighted blue,
Yeah.
and everything else is highlighted
Yellow.
yellow.
Blue is
So,
my property. Yeah.
yeah. So based on that, would you agree with me that there are some sales that are smaller than your property, some sales that are larger than your property? Would you agree with me on that?
Smaller and larger in what sense?
Well,
the
sizes of the house. Some comparable sales there that are
we can't
smaller
say
than
some
your
because
house.
I put the bold numbers, not some. The few you can say the couple of houses, those have less sizes than my house. But
Yeah.
if you see, they have air condition, they have the finished basement, kind of these things, and the lot sizes. If their living area is small, their lot sizes are far bigger. For example, 190 South View is 1548 living area, but its lot size is 9,000, and mine is 4,700 only. Similarly, 188 John Angus, 1452 square feet is the living area, but 6,000, more than 6,000, the lot size as compared to my lot size.
Mhm.
And the front is 50 feet. And you know, the property influence the bus route. For example, if in the future my basement is finished and I give it to for the rent to anybody, they will also look at the bus route, that bus route is available or no. It's a very plus advantage, plus point. You should consider that one. So those houses 251, this one 188 and 129, they are getting the bus route.
Okay, Mr. Khan, I'm just going to stop you there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you have any further questions?
No, I don't have.
Arka, you're finished with your questions?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Malenki, did you have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, and Ms. Branson, did you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. And I don't have any questions. Thank you very much for coming this morning, Mr. Khan.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm all done.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
We are just going to take a 5-minute break. Just to recess. Thank you. And I would like to call this meeting back to order, and we are moving on to item number 4, 7 Shipley Crescent. Yes.
Mr. McKay, if you'd unmute and please state your full name.
My full name is Ian Hugh McKay.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. McKay.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for appearing. And we will just start off with the assessors. Arka, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So subject property street address 7 Shipley Court. It's roll number 0309 1421800. Located in South Point neighborhood. 1-story single dwelling, 2012 year built. 1,701 square foot of living area, full basement and the basement finish. 3 full bathrooms, 1 shower, central air conditioner, 2 fireplaces. Attached multiple garage. 8,153 square feet of lot size. 2023 assessed value $576,000. All of the comparables are in the same neighborhood of South Point. They're all 1-story single dwelling. Comparable number 1 is 6 Brookstone Place, built in 2011, 1,740 square feet. Very similar to subject property in terms of full basement, some minor deviations within best counts, but you can see them there on my report. Lot size is a bit smaller, 6,897 square feet. Time adjusted sale price $579,200. Comparable number 2 is 110 Drew Street, a 2014 year build, 1,638 square feet. Also has full basement and full basement finish, 1 fireplace, multiple garage attached. Time adjusted sale price $549,300. 5 Fairbairn, 2015 year build, 1,877 square feet. 1 fireplace. In comparison to subject properties, 2 fireplaces, otherwise it's very similar, actually identical. 7,804 square feet of lot size. Some land influences, external corner, hydro transformer box, and super mailbox. Time adjusted sale price $591,800. And last comparable is 32 Needlehurst, 2010 year build, 1,733 square feet. No basement finish. 2 full bathrooms, 1 fireplace. Otherwise, it's very similar to subject property. Smaller lot size, 6,155 square feet. External corner. Time adjusted sale price, $542,300. Subject property is, I guess, located in Shipley Court, which is a cul-de-sac right north of John Angus Drive, as you can see it on my map, provided on page number 2. And 32 Needlehurst is pretty close to subject property, just north of, subject property is north of John Angus Drive, and comparable number 4 Needlehurst is on south of John Angus Drive on Needlehurst Place. Okay, and comparable number 1 is 6 Brookstone, and it's again a short distance that would be east of subject property, and pretty much similar distance away from John Angus Drive as subject property, second house away from John Angus Drive, except for it's not on a cul-de-sac. And comparables 5 and comparables now, comparables 3 and comparables 2 were selected because they are in a cul-de-sac settings, like 5 Fairbairn and 110 Drew are in a cul-de-sac, cul-de-sac settings similar to subject property. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. McKay, did you have any questions of what the assessor has just presented?
I'm not sure whether I have questions as much as a rebuttal, and it might come in more appropriately if I went through my evidence and
Yes, we will hear that at the end. Thank you. So if you don't have any questions at this time, that's fine. Mr. Belenky, did you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, and Ms. Branson, did you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. And I have no questions. So if you would like to give your presentation, Mr. McKay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Chair. As the assessor stated, my property is just north of John Angus. But I would argue the best comparison is an identical property. And 7 Shipley is adjacent to 11 Shipley, and they're mirror images of each other. In fact, we inspected 7 Shipley when we asked Park Hill Homes to build our home right adjacent. So both homes were constructed to the same standards. I didn't include the standards with my evidence, but they're the same standards by Park Hill Homes. They all have the same fixtures and so on. And both properties are well maintained. I think you can see that from the picture I submitted. You can also see from the drawings that I submitted that we took the markup of the 11 Shipley Court that has the garage on the left side, and we used that as the basis for the home we built on 7 Shipley. And our home, the main changes were that we removed a bedroom window, we changed the location of the door in the back, and we reduced the number of bedrooms from 3 to 2, and added a larger walk-in closet and larger ensuite. I concluded a table of the differences between 7 Shipley and 11 Shipley. The main changes or the main differences are 11 Shipley has got a huge lot, 10,370 compared to our lot, 8,100. We have 2 bedrooms on the main floor. 11 Shipley has 3 bedrooms. We have 1 bedroom in the basement. 11 Shipley has 3 bedrooms. We have a wet bar in the basement. 11 Shipley has a full kitchen. We have a a four-piece bathroom in the basement, and 11 Shipley has no bathroom and no fireplace either. 11 Shipley has an above-ground pool with a large deck and change houses. It's well treed. Our lot is reasonably well treed, and its assessed value. And I apologize, I had a transcription error when I couldn't read my own writing. The assessed value for 11 Shipley is 519, not 510, and my assessed value is 576. So 11 Shipley was placed on the market on December 17, 2019, listed at 514,900, and I included that in Appendix D. The price was later reduced to 509,900, and the home was ultimately withdrawn from the market on February 4th, 2021, when it did not sell. Notwithstanding that this is not a sale, it is evidence that there wasn't a willing buyer that was wanting to spend that much money on the home. So I would argue that the market value of that home on February 4th, 2021 was less than $510,000 because there was no willing buyer and no willing seller at that price. There are a number of puts and takes when considering the value of 7 Shipley and 11 Shipley, but the significantly larger lot size, the above ground pool, full kitchen in the basement, and additional bedrooms both on the main floor. And see that I included a letter from a real estate agent said the value of my house is likely 5% lower than an equivalent 3-bedroom because of the fact that it only has 2 bedrooms on the main floor, and the market is significantly reduced for that. And so based on that evidence, the value of my house at 7 Shipley on February 4th, 2020 was less than $510,000. As an additional point, I included 46 Westford, which is a bungalow nearby north of Shipley. And I would argue that the homes north of John Angus, the homes south of John Angus have a higher value. And I think this is because they're closer to the school. There's a park right couple blocks south of John Angus with a large walking space and so on, and the walking trails. In addition, so when I submitted this, I didn't have any way of time adjusting the price for John Angus, or sorry, for 11 Shipley. And I submitted that I would request the assessment to be at $525,000. Since that time, I received the assessor's evidence, and I saw what the time adjusted price should be for a house selling at $510,000. And based on that time adjusted price, and considering 46 Westford, the value of my home calculates out to be $542,448. So $545,000 for round numbers. When I looked at the evidence that the assessor submitted, 6 Brookstone is an outlier. 6 Brookstone backs onto a park, and as comparable to compare the properties, I took the average of the assessed values around the home at each address, and 6 Brookstone, the average assessment around the home came out in my calculation to $608,000. If you do the same calculation for Shipley, Westford, Needlehurst, and Drew, they all come out to be under $530,000. So I don't think that's a reasonable comparison. If you eliminate Brookstone, and you use the three remaining properties that the assessor submitted, Drew, Fairburn, and Needlehurst, the average price per square foot comes out to $321.19. If you use the average price that the assessor initially submitted with the Brookstone included, it comes out to $324.36. And if you eliminate Brookstone and add Vesford and Shipley, the price comes out to $320.27 a foot for an assessed value of $544,000. So that $544,000 is close to what I submitted in my evidence at 542. So I would argue that the revised assessment for my property should be $545,000. So thank you for the opportunity of presenting my evidence.
Thank you. Arca, did you have any questions?
No, actually, I do not have any questions. I just want to thank the applicant for speaking on comparable sales and providing accurate information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Delaney?
No questions.
Ms. Branson?
Sir, how many bedrooms are there total in your home now?
There's two upstairs and one in the basement.
And is there an egress window in the basement?
Yes, the basement has large size windows.
Thank you. No further questions.
Okay.
And just for the board's information, I submitted a handwritten. I'm sorry, I'm at the lake and I don't have access to a computer, but I submitted a handwritten table that shows all those prices. If you are willing to consider it.
Okay, I'll just ask my questions first, sir. All the pictures you provided of your home are current, I am assuming?
The ones for my home are current as of today. The ones for 11 Shipley, I took off the multiple listing that was done in 2019.
Right. Right.
December 2019.
And I'd just like to say thank you for providing pictures. That's always very helpful.
Thank you.
And you have included assessed values, which of course, I don't know if you caught in the preamble, but we don't look at assessed values. We only look at sales.
I understand that, but the assessed values that I included in my original evidence were I just submitted them.
Right.
For no reason. But the reason I calculated the assessed values in the table that I provided was just to eliminate Brookstone, because it's just not a reasonable comparison. Brookstone's a very high-end street. And, and 11 Shipley is all the properties along the north side of John Angus are lower value than the south of John Angus.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know why.
And you are requesting 545?
I think that would be a reasonable number based on my calculations.
Okay. And
also the assessors comparables verify that.
okay. And you said you had some rebuttal evidence?
Well, that's my rebuttal was the elimination of
okay.
of 6 Brookstone.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I have no further questions. And thank you very much for appearing today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll move on to 203 Mayfield Crescent.
That's my comparable. Is it me or is it?
No.
Oh, that's true. Then just kind of. Madam applicant, please state your full name.
Nicole Del Rosario.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Saria. We will start with the assessor, Arca, whenever you are ready.
So, street address 203 Mayfield Crescent, roll number 0100-124-4200. In Elmhurst neighborhood, two-story single dwelling built in 1989. 2,613 square feet of living area, full basement and the basement finish, 2 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, and 2 showers. Central air conditioner, 1 fireplace, attached multi-car garage. Okay, 7,632 square feet for lot size. Land influences hydro transformer box. 2023 assessment is $620,000. Comparable number one is 181. Well, I guess I'll speak to the reasons why I chose those comparables. Well, subject property is one of the larger homes in the area, and to my recollections, except for subject property, there were no similar sized homes sold to be used as a comparable. So I chose my comparables based on location. That would seem to be more appropriate to adjust for size or other fixtures and keep the location similar to subject property. And I guess that's why I'm going to go now into my comparables. All of my comparables are in Mayfield Crescent, very close in location and proximity to subject property. I guess because of that, they're all in the same neighborhood, Elmhurst. So comparable number one, 181 Mayfield. It's a two-story single dwelling built in 1990, 2,244 square feet. It has a full basement, but no basement finish. 2 full bathroom, 1 half bathrooms, and 2 showers. Central air conditioner, 1 fireplace. Attached multiple car garage, and it also has a swimming pool. Lot size 7,328 square feet. Property sold. Time adjusted sale price of comparable number one is $623,000. Comparable number two is 187 Mayfield Crescent. It's a two-story single dwelling, 1990 year built. A smaller home, 1,883 square feet, with a full basement and no basement finish. 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms, and 1 shower. Central air conditioner, 1 fireplace, and attached multi-car garage. Lot size, just slightly less than 7,000 square feet, 6,994 square feet for lot size, and hydro box and is a land influence. So time adjusted sale price is $521,600. Comparable number three is 215 Mayfield Crescent, year built 1992. Smaller house, 1,927 square feet, no basement finish. 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms, 1 shower. It has central air conditioner, 1 fireplace, and the multiple attached garage. Smaller lot size, 5,348 square feet. Time adjusted sale price is $481,000. And comparable number 4 is the subject property itself. Subject property sold in September of 2020 for $600,000. Time adjusted value to April 1st, 2021 is $622,200. I believe that when adjusted for size, basement finish, lot size, comparables will support the assessed value, as well as the subject sale itself supports the assessed value. Thank you very much. That's all I had.
Thank you. Ms. Desario, do you have any questions of the assessor of what he's just presented?
No.
Mr. Billington
No questions.
and Ms. Branson?
No questions.
Okay. Just one question, Arca, do you have the MLS listing on the property?
No, I do not have it with me, and I cannot tell you for sure whether subject property was a private sale or whether it was listed through MLS right on the top of my head. I don't have it noted anywhere right now, so my apologies for that.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Desario, if you'd like to proceed with your brief.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was not a private sale. It was listed on MLS, if that's helpful for the previous question.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity to speak today and just present this case. The assessor noted that comparables were all on Mayfield Crescent, which the noted comparables that I present, 39 Hookway Crescent, 10 Ghent Code, and 513 Chalfont Road, I believe are better comparables in the sense that they are more similar to square footage, finishing in terms of the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, as the previously noted comparables are a little bit smaller. So even though they are on the same street, the actual house itself, I would say it's not that comparable. And also in terms of using 203 Mayfield as a comparable as well. So I actually went through this process the last Board of Revision meeting that was eligible, and we successfully defended that the assessed price should be $560. So that is a huge discrepancy with the new assessed value of $622, as the same kind of issues and structural damages to the home still exist. So in terms of my comparables, the first one, 39 Hookway Crescent, very similar square footage, 2,331 for the Hookway Crescent home. All of my comparables are 2 stories with air conditioning, fireplace, attached garage. This house has quite a larger kind of pie-shaped lot, and it actually backs onto a park area, so much more desirable lot, and a lower assessed value and a lower sale price as well. The second comparable, 10 Ghent Cove, so this is actually a cove just off of Mayfield. So the closest out of all of my comparables, while they don't have a park lot, they do have a larger, more desirable pie-shaped lot, and same comparable size. However, again, lower assessed value, lower sale value. And the last comparable is the 513 Chalfont. So again,
Sorry, I just need to interrupt for a moment. I don't see any sale values. All you have are assessments, which we do not consider.
Okay.
Look at assessment values at all.
Okay.
So do you have sales information on these properties?
I can include that. I have it in a file, but just not connected, unfortunately. My apologies.
Okay, you can speak to it verbally.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and in terms of the 513 Chalfont, this is again a comparable size, both 4 bedrooms, similar to Mayfield. The lot actually backs onto Sinboyne Forest. It has an in-ground pool, an insulated heated garage, which 203 Mayfield does not, and then a walkout balcony as well. And I included some photos from that sale listing. And then I'll just take a moment here. So Shellfront had actually sold for 500,035. So much more desirable lot, very comparable in terms of size, and the sale price was significantly lower than Mayfield, the 203 Mayfield. And then in terms of 10 Ghent code, which was the second comparable I presented. So this house is the one closest to Mayfield. And it's just a cove off of Mayfield, a larger lot. And its sale price was $471,100 and $510. And then the 39 Hookway, again, 2-story, backs onto a park. Its sale price was $523,000. And in terms of kind of repairs needed for 203 Mayfield, so something that we presented in the last Board of Revision is the home inspection that we had upon purchasing the home did not notify us of the water damage to the wainscoting. So I did have a wood contractor come in to provide an estimate of about $10,000 to refinish the wood. As it does have water damage and staining. That has not been completed. So it is in need of those repairs, as well as a very slanting deck needed to be leveled. And that was all the evidence I had to put forth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Arca, did you have any questions of the applicant?
Yeah, a couple of questions. In your presentation, you mentioned that all of the properties that you are using in your brief, or most of them had a larger lot area. All I see is, for the most part, for the exception of 10 Ghent Cove, every other parcel size is smaller than yours. Is that right? That's how I'm reading it, or?
Yeah, and also considering the lot size, also the kind of the shape of lot, so they aren't kind of the rectangular lot as 203 Mayfield. And also 2 of the 3 comparables back onto either the Assiniboine Forest or quite a large park space. The exception is 10 Ghent Cove, so that is the closest comparable to 203 Mayfield, but it does still have the quieter cove location and the more pie-shaped lot.
Yeah. And for the building size, again, they're all significantly smaller than your property, right? So all of them are, like, I believe the biggest one, if I remember correctly, 39 Hookaway at 2,331 square feet. And your property is 26, well, we can round it to 2,600 square feet.
Yes. So while not the exact kind of size of the house, I do believe it's a better comparable than the other Mayfield properties that were presented that are below the 2,000 square feet size. So kind of thinking that the 2,000, say 300 square feet is more comparable in terms of representation than, say, for instance, 187 Mayfield, which is 1,883.
And I guess you answered the question about MLS insurance, right? And you mentioned that, so water damage, was it present at the time when you purchased the property, or was it something that appeared later?
It was present at time of purchase.
Okay. And the slanting deck as well, right? Was present
Yes.
at the time of purchase. Okay.
Yes.
Those are all my questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Millington.
No questions.
And Ms. Branson?
No questions.
Okay, I just have a couple. Do you have an estimate on the cost for the deck repair?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. And regarding the water damage to your wainscoting, so you have an estimate of 10,000.
Mhm.
Where is the wainscoting located?
It's in the front entrance, the fireplace room, and then up the staircase.
Okay. And the cause of the water damage?
We haven't found out. They didn't give us any estimated reason.
Do you currently have water still seeping?
No.
Okay. And what is your request? I didn't see it anywhere.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, our previous lowered assessment was for 560, and taking into account, we thought that was a fair assessment, but also taking into account the time adjusted price, seeking 570.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
And we will move on to 160 Overwater Cove. 106, I'm sorry.
No, that's me. And before you take a seat, I'll just affirm you in as well. Please state your full name.
Dennis William Joseph Sirhos.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning, Mr. Sirhos. And Arca, whenever you're ready, want to start us up?
Okay, so subject property, street address 106 Overwater Cove, roll number 010014800700 in Elmhurst area, two-story single dwelling, 1993 year built, same effective age, same year effective age, living area 2,345 square feet. Has a full part area basement with a basement finish, 2 full bathrooms, 1/2 bathroom, 1 shower, central air conditioner, 1 fireplace, and a multiple car garage. 10,716 square feet for lot size. 2023 assessed value is $530,000. Four comparables used for the four comparables used today are all in the Elmhurst neighborhood. They're all two-story buildings. They are all single-family dwellings. Yeah, so I'll start with comparable number 1 is 87 Brittany Drive, 1984 year build, 1994 effective age, 2,012 square feet, full basement and the basement finish. 1 full bathroom, 2/2 bathrooms and a shower, central air conditioner, 1 fireplace and a multiple car garage. 8,832 square feet. Lot size, land influences, bus route and light traffic. And time adjusted sale, well, it sold actually 2 weeks before the reference date. So it sold on March 15th, 2021. So $570,000 is the sale price as well as time adjusted sale price. I'll just note that all properties have multiple car garage and all properties have 1 fireplace and central air conditioner, and I will be skipping that information for the other comparables. So comparable number 2 is 90 Damington, 1993 year build, 1993 effective age, 2,182 square feet of living area, full basement and basement finish, 2 full bathrooms, 2/2 bathrooms and a shower. Lot size 6,966 square feet. Time adjusted sale price $551,600. Comparable 3 is 203 Mayfield. 1989 year build, 2,613 square feet. 2 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, 2 showers, and lot size 7,632 square feet. Land influences hydro transformer box, sold time adjusted sale price $622,200. And last comparable is 187 Mayfield, 1990 year build, 1990 effective age, 1,883 square feet. Full basement, no basement finish, 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms, and 1 shower. 6,994 square feet of lot size, hydro transformer box as a land influence, sold time adjusted sale price. Actually, it sold on March 16, 2021, and that sale price and time adjusted sale price are very similar, so it's $521,600. Okay, so as far as a bit more information, subject property has the largest lot size out of all the comparables, and based on 2003 MLS listings of subject property, the curb view of subject property it's a contemporary built custom built home with a flat roof, and it kind of does stand apart from your traditional 2-story homes with the hip or gable roofs. A bit of information on comparables: 87 Brittany and 203 Mayfield have higher end kitchens and bathrooms. Otherwise, comps are original. 90 Damington have moderate original kitchen with laminate counters and newer mechanicals, and 187 Mayfield doesn't provide pictures on MLS, so most likely it is original. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Did you have any questions of the information the assessors just presented?
Yes. Arca, did you have the MLS listings for 203 Mayfield, 90 Donington, and 87 Brittany?
Yeah, I have access to it. I can open it up in a second.
I mean, you previously stated in the hearing right before us that you did not have 203 Mayfield, so.
Excuse me? Oh, for that particular hearing, I did not have it in the folder. I did have it noted here that it was on MLS. Yeah, so and unfortunately, I cannot keep all of the properties in my head. So unless it's noted, it's maybe overlooked.
Good. And were you aware of the asking prices of the homes when they were for sale?
As far as looking at it right now, I'm only looking at the sale prices. I typically do not consider asking prices based on the Municipal Assessment Act. We have to consider what properties have sold for, regardless of the asking price.
And you feel these 4 homes are good comparables, correct?
Well, based on location, based on the size of the type of buildings, they would be probably the better comparables that I have found when I was doing this analysis.
Did you consider a house on Sheldrake, a house on it's part of my package here, one sec. A house on Sheldrake Cove, 90 Donington is in there, and 87 Bramble Drive?
No, I don't recall those properties at all, so can't answer the question.
Okay. That's it, Brittany.
No questions.
Ms. Branson?
No questions.
And I have no questions. If you'd like to proceed with the presentation.
Okay. So I sent a package in, and once receiving information back from the city yesterday about the comparables, I got some additional information on those comparables, but I was unable to attach that. So I can speak to that a little bit later, but I'll just like to walk through my property. So a couple of things like when we look at our home, we bought our house 18 years ago. It hasn't sold since then, obviously. It was a very, exciting time for us when we bought it. And, we have 4 children, and I just want to, I don't have too many issues with the actual comparables and the rising values of homes. That's a reality of what we're around in us, and we're thankful we bought our home when we did. That being said, we've got 4 children and we haven't had much money, to maintain the home. And so, maintenance and keeping things at a fairly consistent level, so be it. I noticed in the letter I got, it says issues, such as needing shingles, roof repairs, window replacements, carpet, flooring, dated finish will not lower the assessed value of your home. So that being said, and even just listening to the assessor earlier today, interior finishes, quality of finishing, renovations do affect the value of your home. And when people look at buying homes, that is a significant part of buying homes. We're considering moving because the state of our current home is such that we don't have the means to fix it. So with that, I'll walk through the home. The exterior of our house. The exterior of our house is a combination of cement fiber board, siding, and corrugated steel on the exterior of the building. Our foundation is shifted, causing the majority. I think there's about 88 panels on our home, and about 57 of them are cracked. I had pictures that show all the exterior. There's nothing wrong with the corrugated steel. That's a lesser portion, but the majority of the house is wrapped in this siding board, and it all needs to be replaced. So, all those pictures are different panels. They show all the different elevations of the house, and everything's broken. So we've looked at fixing this, and the starting point is to get a contractor in. And when a contractor comes in to actually fix it, you have to get drawings and get someone to say, what are we doing? A rough conversation with the contractor tells me that's going to be anywhere between $75,000 and $190,000 or $100,000, 75 to 90. It varies. So that becomes a bit of a stopper for us because we don't have that. To get a formal estimate on to replace that with a comparable product, I would have to go get drawings and spend roughly $5,000 or $6,000 just to give a spec to someone to actually fix it. The windows of our home. So we have 33 windows in our home. One of the reasons we bought it, since we've moved in there, 17 have failed. 8 have failed miserably, where there's condensation in them. If we go through it and say, if you're talking maintenance, you're going to fix a window. When you get to the point that our house is, someone looks at it, says, this house needs new windows because it's just a matter of time before the rest of them fail too. That is a very big number. I don't have a quote for it, but when I used to work for a company called Boardroom, and at that time I was contemplating doing the windows, and my cost would have been 20 grand. Also not done, but like that 20 grand was, I'm an employee and my boss is helping me out. Assessor did note that we have a contemporary home. It is that. We like it. It's unique and makes it a little bit less comparable to other homes. We do have a flat roof on the home. It's original to the house. 2 years ago, we had a leak on our roof, and it filtered into our house, into our ceilings on our second story, even into the ceilings on our main story. I've had our home roof inspected regularly because it is a concern and it's original. Generally speaking, the guy comes back and says, yeah, it's in decent shape, no worries. When we had the leak, a fellow went up there, we have rot in one section, and I had a quote to fix the entire roof for a little over $12,000. That was just the main area of the house, not the garage. Because if the garage leaks, it doesn't leak on anything because there's nothing inside there. But to do the whole roof, the garage, and the laundry room that doesn't have a basement under it, that was $15,000. I repaired it for $1,000, and it hasn't leaked since. But I haven't fixed the inside of our home because I have to kind of replace the roof before I would start doing any repairs to my ceilings. Mechanical on the home. When we look at moving, we see, new furnace 19, water tank 2020, air conditioner 2017. The entire mechanical in that house is 1994. I do maintenance on it. I'm fairly handy. When I have the air conditioner guy come out every year to charge it or fix it, tells me I need a new air conditioner. I go, what about the capacitors? I understand that stuff, so I repair rather than replace. Driveway on our home, it's, you know, this just affects the curb appeal. When you look at our house from the street, the driveway is slanting about 5 to 8 inches towards the steps at the garage. So when you hit the garage, it's like you're going over a big speed bump. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but someone looking at that home says, oh, it needs a driveway. So, you know, and then the interior home, you know, consistent with what we talk about or what the city says. Yeah, we've got original floors, we've got original carpets. We haven't done our kitchen, but it's to the point that it's starting to fall apart. The previous owner, you know, we looked into refinishing our hardwood floors. The previous owner had a toilet overflow in that house, refinished the floors and refinished them in such a state that they cannot be refinished again. So I've got hardwood floors. I sent pictures of what my hardwood floors look like. I mean, you know, on one hand, it's good. We've got a dog and 4 kids. When something happens, you can't tell where the pickle jar dropped or whatever. But at the end of the day, that stuff needs to be updated. And to me, like, you know, when I look at the value of our home and the assessed value of it, you know, I should, if you want to buy my house for what it's assessed at, you know, early on, I'd be like, I ain't selling for that. Like, it's a good assessment. Like, our house is worth more than what it's assessment. Now, if you want to take that house for $530,000, it's all yours. So at the end of the day, what drives the value of a home, in my opinion, is the maintenance you do and the way you keep it looking. And so we haven't been able to do that. And, you know, going through this exercise is a little bit humbling and, you know, borderline embarrassing, but we've got 4 kids. We've invested in our kids, and that's kind of, we're happy with it. So that's my home. It's not in a condition comparable to any of the comparables. You know, I've one thing. So that's my home. Take a moment to get rid of this. I take it you've seen all the pictures, like that. Is that part of what everyone sees, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, you know, when you see the pictures of the cabinets, that's them falling apart. When you see the picture of the door open and the, you know, the piece of wood underneath there, because if that wood's not there, that whole thing's falling apart. You know, so I you know, when I thought, yeah, it'd be nice to do a new kitchen and see the pictures of the ceilings. That's all the water stains, and we don't know really what's underneath there, but that all has to come out and fix it properly. And then what doesn't show up, you know, a couple pictures of our bathrooms, that's all original as well. What doesn't show up is really on the window pictures, just the board seals. You can't even see through those windows. They've got condensation and dry stuff in between the things. I scrub those windows, they look the same. And then the hardwood floors, there's like literally no finish on them. And unfortunately, we can't refinish them. So, you know, that would have been a good option. I know the city doesn't, the board doesn't consider assessed values per se. I have a sheet in there that just talks about my street. And so my property was assessed. It was $450,000 back in 2017. And we appealed our assessment based on some of these issues that were creeping up, and we were successful, and it was restated to $450,000. Since that time, our property's only deteriorated. It was reassessed to $461,000, I believe, in 2018. We didn't do anything with that because an $11,000 increase certainly seemed, you know, that's just the value of property, land going up. You know, now it's increased to $530,000, which is a $69,000 increase, or 15%. When I go to my street, there's 2 types of homes, or really 3, but majority of 2 types of homes. There's bungalows and there's 2 stories. When I look at the assessed value from 2022 to 2023 for all of the 1-story homes, the average assessed value is $476,000. The average new assessed value is $514,000. It's an increase of $38,000, or 8%. So bungalows are at a premium. Quite frankly, we want one. They're expensive. When I look at the 2-story homes on our street, the average assessed value is $529,000. The average increase is to $554,000, which is 5%. And then the cab overs are kind of like the bungalows, I'm guessing. But the point I make with this is I'm looking at an increase of 15%. when the average on my street for homes that I would say are comparable to mine, just standing on the curb and looking at them, with the exception of all of the shit, all of the stuff wrong with my house, it's 5%. So I'm struggling with how we get there. It's like that's why I have that. Not saying this house or this assessment, just in general. If the street's going up 5%, how come my house is going up 15%? So I included my property tax assessments from that. So now I'll just speak to the comparables that ARCA brought in. So I have the real estate listings as part of, not part of the package, because I actually included the real estate listings from 3 homes, Sheldrake, Bramble, and Donington, because when I phoned the city to make this appointment, they told me that the comparables for my house were those 3 homes. So I went and grabbed that information and built it into my package. Since that time, the only one that stuck around was Donington. And rather than it being Bramble and Sheldrake, it's now 2 houses on Mayfield and 1 on Brittany. So if I speak to the Donington home, I just want to read the description in the real estate. Sometimes you can drive by a spectacular enclave of homes without ever knowing it. Prime example is Donington Road in Charleswood. Donington Road is a dead-end street. We know that street well. Our best friends live at the end of it. An area framed beautifully by mature trees that lend park-like feel come home. Living is easy. It's a custom-built Merrick home. So a custom-built Merrick home, when we were looking at homes 20 years ago, was twice the price of what we were looking at. Grand entryway, everything. Grand entryway, staircase, beautiful backyard, windows overlooking. Finishing off the upper layer, 2 more beautiful bedrooms. The 2 is much more. This home we looked at because it was very close to our friends, and it was beautiful, and we couldn't afford it, and it's way nicer than our home. The second one is 87 Brittany. 87 Brittany, I'd say, is a bit of a less desirable lot because it backs onto Ridgewood. The flip side to that is you have no one behind you, which I kind of like, but my wife doesn't like Ridgewood. I'll read that description. Gorgeous 2173 square foot home situated on Choice Street in Charleswood. Over $50,000 worth of upgrades since 2016. This home is a classic floor plan. Kitchen has been updated, large island, quartz countertop, /stainless steel. The adjoining family is spacious in size. So I have pictures of this house. And when I look through the pictures of this house, there's nothing to do to this house. So someone looking to buy this home, I mean, I can't share this, but it's meticulous. It looks like a new home. And so my point being is they've invested in the home. And when you invest in your home, that does help drive your property value. I know it says it doesn't here, they consider it maintenance, but by ARCA's own statement, if you have inferior interiors, design quality, that gets you more money when you sell it. If you've done your kitchen, he said, if you've done your bathroom, if you have high-end floorings, people come and look at that and go, I've got nothing to do. I mean, someone might come to my house and say, I love the bones of this house, and this is a great property, but it needs a couple $100,000 worth of work. And we see that going on. We see people that will buy a house and put a dumpster bin on the front driveway and gut it. And so I look at to say, what am I going to get for my home? On one hand, if I were to do the work, I have no issue with your assessed value because then that house is worth that. I need to do the work. And when I get there, then I'm in agreement. The last one I wanted to talk about, and just having trouble finding that, is 203 Mayfield. That's kind of funny. That was the house that was just up. I think this one's a bit of an outlier. This to me is a luxury home. This grand Charleswood home is a must-see and has been meticulously maintained by its current owner for the last 20 years. It's a custom-built home that has all the space you'll need for anything growing. You'll be wowed by the size of all the rooms, but especially the bedrooms that your teenagers will appreciate. With upgrades like low-maintenance siding, 17, a deck in 2014, hot water tank in 17, furnace in 2010, wall-to-wall carpets, shingles, soffits, all windows in 2012, a new kitchen in 2013, granite countertops, master ensuite, and more. Inside the showroom home's AA, inside and out. So I look at the pictures of that home, It's got the bathroom off a master bedroom that my wife would dream for. So that's like, there it is. It's a luxury home. So I guess in closing, you know, a couple things is we only have a partly finished basement. It says full part area basement finished. Yes, the part area is finished. Half of our basement storage. It's a small basement because the house has rooms added onto it on the main level that don't have basements under it. So it's 1,000 square foot basement as opposed to, you know, a house that would have a full basement. You know, if our home was in a good state of repair and it didn't need the work it is, I'm not here. I'm basically here because it needs that. And if we were to sell that home at any point in the future without doing that work, we would be penalized significantly for it. We've looked at homes, new homes. We've had real estate agents come into our home. So what's your plan with this? What do you mean? What's my plan with this? Are you going to fix all this stuff? Well, I mean, if I do that, you know, well, if you do this, if you fix this, yeah, we list your house at 650 grand, but fix the outside. And then he goes, you know, if you don't fix it, like I could fix it because I'm going to put sweat equity into it. And I'm a big guy and I'm just going to actually try and do that. If I don't do it and someone comes to look at it, it's just what's that going to cost? And you pay for it. So I think at the end of the day, you know, we love our home. Is it worth, you know, 530 grand? You know, I don't believe so. So that's where I'm at, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Arca, did you have any questions?
I guess one quick question. So the pictures that you have provided, I'm just looking at them. That is, are those recent pictures or?
They were taken the day I sent them.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Belenky.
Yes, I have a question. Your condition is basically of the home is your negative factor in this whole scenario.
Correct. It
And
required.
if you were to want to sell it, you'd probably, in due diligence, have somebody inspect the home to provide a list, or the potential buyer would want to have that done. And so if you were to just say forego all that kind of issue, what would you sell your home for in your feeling of what you've got to do to it?
I would be happy if we could realize on that home somewhere between 430 and 450,000 bucks.
So really, at this point, because of your inability to create the value of the home, you're looking for a reduction at this particular point, as you've done in the past.
Correct. Like you know, we've just chosen to spend our money elsewhere. We've got kids, we've got a family, and the house has served us really well. It's not like it's right. So I've watched, and we're friends. It's a wonderful street. We know lots of people on the street. I've been in probably 2/3 of the homes on that street. People put new kitchens in. People, you know, we're getting to a stage in life. We've got one kid left, and once that goes, you know, maybe I'll get that bathroom. Who knows? But at this point in time, we just haven't had the ability to invest in the home, like make it better. But worse, we haven't had the ability just to maintain it. And you know, if we had a stucco exterior, maybe we don't have this problem with the cement boards. And you know, I wish I had stucco, because then it's not a problem. You might not like it as much because it's a contemporary home, and like, yeah, look great when we got there, but you know, it's falling apart. And you know, if we can't fix it, it's a detractor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Branson?
No questions.
Okay, I just have a couple. In terms of the cement boards around your house, is it sort of an integral part of the house in terms of structure, or is it more decorative?
Well, it's the exterior siding, so it protects the house from the elements.
So it is the side.
Yeah, and it's the house is shifted, which is why I'm told it's cracked. So kind of have to be, we can't put that back on there. We have to find a solution, but I wouldn't say the boards are structural, Chairperson. I just say it's, you know, I mean, you build a house and then that's the exterior finish.
Right.
So when you look at all the comparables, they all have brick on the front of them, which would be an option, expensive option. This is board.
You showed a picture of your bathroom, but not your kitchen.
Oh, I thought I had a picture of my kitchen in there. The cupboards and all that were in my kitchen. Where's sorry,
I saw just bathroom. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, I see it. It's turned sideways for me, so
Okay.
I see the oven and the, all right.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I see that it's,
Yeah, like that's all there. Cabinetry in the floors in our
Yeah.
kitchen,
so it's all original to 1993.
1994.
And you mentioned that your 2018 assessments were 61. I believe.
Yes, it went from 450 to 461.
And what is the, what's the number you're looking for today?
You know, if I think what I would sell it for, 430 to 450, like I think it's deteriorated since the last time it's been assessed.
I'm going to suggest to you that you could have an assessor come out and have a look at the property too.
The city assessor?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just a thought.
I invited them. They said they don't come. I had a conversation.
Oh, they do. I think they do now. Arca, are you not doing home inspections now?
Yeah, we can do it now, and I believe just to correct it, perhaps it was due to COVID regulations that we weren't able to do it at that time.
I asked them to come on my phone call when I phoned, and I said, please come and look because the pictures don't do it justice.
Okay.
They declined.
When was that called?
March of this year,
Oh, okay. 'Cause I
when
think now
this was being set up.
Yeah. And another option, just so you know, is the community program. You can go to, instead of coming here and paying your $50, you can go to the community program that they have. The city offers it. And you just go and show your pictures and have a discussion with an assessor at that point.
With respect, I tried that,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I phoned the community program. I went through the 311 queue, and it was, and when I spoke to that lady on the phone, they said someone will call you back. We were away when they called. They phoned. I said, is there any chance we can do this next week? No. That call took all of about 8 minutes. She says, oh, I see something on file here from when you reassessed it. Yeah, I have what I need. And that call was terminated.
Okay.
And in fairness to the city, the original assessment was $550,000. And then I got a notice saying it was $530,000. And that was based on an 8-minute phone call with, are you coming to my house? Because the last time they came to my house, like the assessor came, we did the whole tour, and the result was what it was.
Okay. When was that the assessor came to your house?
It was. One moment. It's here somewhere. I just need a minute. It's in all these papers. But
I can answer that question real quick. too.
Oh, okay. Arca knows.
Okay.
I believe based on the notes I have, it was around November 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what it was.
Okay. Great. That's all the
Okay.
questions, and thank you for coming this morning.
Really appreciate it. Brittany. Thanks for your time.
And I guess just a quick afterthought, if property owner is okay with an inspection, we can still do it.
Come on down.
Did you hear that, Arca?
You're my best Rick Hill.
You said, come on down.
Okay, sounds good. Probably, yeah, I think this property needs to be inspected and looked at properly. My personal opinion.
Whatever that means. So they'll come down.
Arca,
Yes.
Would you like the applicant to contact the assessment department?
I'll probably do it. I'll probably take it over and I'll contact the applicant in the next week or so to see what can be arranged.
Okay,
I have his phone number on the application here, I believe. So yeah, I'll be able to contact him.
okay, great.
Okay, thanks very much.
Good option. Thank you.
Number 10.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, yes, Madam Chairman, would it be possible to take a short break?
Absolutely. Yes, just take a 5-minute recess.
Sorry, Carrie, I'll be putting you back in the weight room for that
Sorry,
time.
Carrie.
Taking a 5-minute recess.
Yes.
Okay. Arca, putting you back in the weight room as well. Let's go offline first.
Oh, I see. And I would like to call this hearing back to order. And the next property we are going to hear is 75 McBell Road. Swearing.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Carrie Primer.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Reimer.
Good morning.
It's been a long time.
It has. Hopefully everyone's summer has been going well.
And Arca, if you'd like to lead us off on this property.
So subject property has a street address of 75 McBell Road, roll number 03-03-397-0000. So I guess it is can still be considered, well, considered improved, but really we are considering it as a vacant land property with 91,476 square feet in Cloutier area, and current assessed value is $530,000. Four comparables used are all vacant land comparables in on Christie Road, in neighboring area of South Saint Vital perimeter south, and they're all vacant land parcels, larger parcels between 94,000 square feet to 204,000 square feet. Similar land influences the subject property, no sewer, no water. The subject property is currently improved as a house. However, the condition of the dwelling is extremely poor and beyond any probably beyond any chance to of repair, and will most likely be demolished. That's why we are using comparable vacant land comparables. The recommendation of $350,000 was made to the applicant's agent Altus based on their suggestion that the value should be $350,000. Since then, that recommendation was no longer applicable by the applicant, and hence we are here. Otherwise, we would have had a 15-1 agreement on our hands for this property. So comparables are very similar to what applicant is using as well, and it would appear that $350,000 would be a supported value. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Reimer?
So quick question, Madam Chair. I'm trusting that I noticed that the assessor's got the post-reference sale price. I'm trusting that I need not speak to that, and he didn't bring it up in his presentation.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to bring it up. Yeah, it was omitted to be erased, so my apologies for that. Yeah.
So, Madam Chair, I'm not going to make a big issue. I'm going to presume that I need not speak to it. And Arca, I'm going to absolutely get your last name wrong, so I'm just asking if I could address you as Arca.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. So we can actually, and of course, what we'll see at this hearing is that there's a very high degree of congruence between the evidence of ARCA that you've presented and myself. But a couple of questions flow from this. So with respect to the house, you and I inspected it. We can agree that I mean, you've brought it up, but the expectations certainly be based on our inspection and our discussion that the house is going to be demolished very shortly. Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding of the
Yeah.
situation. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, with respect to the sale comparables, and I can tell you, if you've looked at my materials, 3 of the 4 sales are the same ones I'm using. And by all means, ARCA, please run the numbers if you want me to, but I'm suggesting to you that the average of the 4 sales that you've presented is $3.32 a square foot. You can feel free to do the math if you want, but if you accept the premise of $3.32 a square foot, the recommendation I believe that you're making this morning at the value of $350,000, that's at $3.82 a square foot, correct?
I would take your calculation for it, and if you did the math and if that's what it comes out to be, then that's what it is. I did not do the per square foot calculation.
Certainly. So I am suggesting it's the recommendation, and I appreciate the recommendation, ARCA. Please don't be under any sort of illusions that way that we aren't appreciating the work you put into the file. But with the 332 average then of the properties, and then beyond that, I note your comparable number 1. That is in fact the comparable that's nearest the reference date, correct? That's the one in 2020.
Yes.
And that was at $267 a foot for this lot on Christie. Or sorry, $268, correct? A foot?
Yes.
Okay. Madam Chair, those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay. So, Mr. Reimer, I do need to ask the question. You are not accepting the recommendation, correct?
That's correct. The instructions we've been given are to proceed further. The owner had concerns with the recommendation at the $350,000 level. So I'm here this morning to continue with the hearing.
Okay, thank you. And you have no further questions of ARCA?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Belenky.
I have no questions.
Ms. Branson.
No questions.
And I have no questions at this time. Mr. Reimer, if you'd like to proceed.
Thanks, Madam Chair. So I've got the hard copy in front of me, but I'm going to reference the page numbers on the PDF version. So it'll be the PDF page number would always be adding by definition, adding 1 page. So on, pardon me, on page 2 of the PDF, you can see the summary there with the building that's on site. I can confirm in no uncertain terms, this is a house that is going to be demolished. That was the plan immediately when our clients obtained the property. The building is considered derelict, and in fact, I'd suggest very strongly that was borne out by the inspection that ARCA and I had done earlier this week. And the demolition permit, for the information of the board, the demolition permit has been applied for, and they expect it to be approved within the next few weeks, and demolition to proceed very shortly thereafter. So I have on the following pages, so it'd be pages 3, 4, 5, 6, and the top of page 7, I've provided photos just to reinforce the suggestion I'm making that this house is quite simply, it's a tear down. And the value of the property, as ARCA suggested, and I'm fully agreeing, the value of the property is as a vacant building lot. So what that necessitates, of course, is to incur the costs of demolition, and those costs, I'm told verbally, or I don't have anything in writing, but I'm told verbally would range sort of between 25 and 40,000. Having said that, then moving on to our page 8, I had suggested in my cross-examination of ARCA that there was a high degree of congruence between his evidence and ours. And at the bottom of page 8, you can see the chart of the sales that I considered. 3 of the 4 sales are the very 3 that ARCA has presented to this board. There was one further sale in 2018, and I had set my search parameters such that I didn't go into 2018, but the 2018 sale, which is the department's comp number 4, I believe. Yeah, comp number 4, it's entirely consistent with the remainder of the data. So the average sale price per square foot of the three properties on the chart that I presented is $3.30. All of the sales, and again, the information being very, very similar. These are sales on Christie, which is on the other side of the river. They're all larger river lots. They're all unserviced, which are the same as our property. There are no services to this property, and they're very, pardon me, very similar in size with sale dates that are very closely approaching the reference date. So it's a little unusual that we're able to find this amount of data, very, very comparable data, but it is. And it has been found, and in fact, we believe it supports the reduction to the $3.25 range that I'm suggesting this morning. So I won't go through. I'll leave it with the board, especially with the timelines. The sales and the maps showing the locations of the lot are as indicated on pages 9 through 11. I just briefly want to go, if we might, to page 12. Just to give the board a sense, and actually Arca had this in his evidence as well. He did a good job of pointing out the location of the comps relative to the subject. So on page 12, I've got the yellow arrows showing within a reasonable tolerance the sale comparables that we've presented this morning, and the subject being a little further east on the river. So with those sales in mind, the sales range from $253 a square foot up to $371. With that in mind, and knowing that this particular lot will require the demolition in very short order, then I'm suggesting that a rate of $325 a square foot, just slightly lower than the average of those transactions, would be appropriate. And that then makes the request, as I indicated at the bottom of page 12, a total of $297,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Arca, do you have any questions of Mr. Reimer on what he's just?
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Long.
No questions.
And
No question.
Ms. Branson, no?
No questions. My apologies.
Mr. Reimer, I just have a couple of questions. I'm still sort of filing through your brief, so you may have it in here, but what is the cost, do you know, of the demolition?
It's actually a verbal that I've been given. I didn't have anything in writing that I could provide the board. I've been told verbally it's between 25 and 40,000. Now, please bear in mind, those are current costs and likely are somewhat higher than they would have been at the reference date. So I didn't have the hard information to put in, so I didn't want to sort of misrepresent it that way. There will definitely be a significant cost to it.
Okay. Do you know how long the home has been unoccupied?
I do, roughly. So when our clients purchased the property earlier this year, there was a tenant in it. And so the tenant, they actually insisted that the tenant leave because the property was in the condition it was in, and actually was thought, and I agree with it, thought to be quite unsafe. And so there would have been a tenant in it up until I'm going to suggest March or April, and it's been vacant since. And as I say, the demolition permit was applied for very shortly after the tenants had vacated the property.
Okay. And is a single home being planned for this property? What we know as we sit today is the home's going to be demolished, and then the owners are going to determine what it is they do with this lot. For full disclosure, what's happened is they bought this lot and the lot to the east of this one, and it's the lot to the east of this where they're actually building the home, building their home to their spec. And what Arca and I were told verbally at our inspection was, we're going to demolish it, and then we're not sure, exactly what we're going to do with it. Ultimately, what can legally be done under the zoning is to put a single family home on it. There's nothing really else you can do with it. But I do think that they've got some pause because, and I do mention this in our brief, the home is below the floodplain, which it's going to require a lot of fill before they'd be allowed to build a house on this lot. And also there's significant erosion that came to light this spring when the river levels were very, very high because of all the rainfall we got. And a significant chunk of the lot actually has just simply been taken away by the river. So they're trying to figure out what
makes economic sense after they demolish the house, but no firm plans on that front just yet.
Okay. You don't happen to have any pictures of the erosion?
I do not. The one, I do have a picture of a consequence of the erosion. If you turn to the PDF page 6, the bottom picture, that picture will show a hole in the ceiling. And that hole in the ceiling was as a result of one of the trees that was on the riverbank falling into the house as a result of the erosion. And the tree, so this is the closest thing I've got to demonstrate what the erosion is doing. The tree, if you go to the PDF page 3 and the top picture, that picture shows the trees that are leaning over, and so those trees were right on the riverbank, and one of them's washed away entirely and fell into the house. So obviously it was a very good thing that the tenants had vacated by that time, or that would have been potentially a very, very difficult situation.
So you saw the erosion yourself when you did.
I did.
I see.
I did. I apologize. I did. I thought I had a picture, and it's not in the brief. So I know I have one, but it's not in the brief. I apologize for that.
That's fine. And is there an amount in terms of cost for stabilizing the river?
Yeah, a very good question for riprap and such, or more even a higher level stabilization. I asked that very same question. Not yet. They just haven't got to that stage yet. They're sort of dealing with the demolition first, and then they're going to monitor very closely the level of erosion, and they are going to want to get to it before they lose too much of that, too much more of the area, but they just haven't got that far yet.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Thank you all very much.
Yes. Thank you for coming this morning.
Have a good day, all.
Too. And we will now hear 661 Park Boulevard East. Been waiting very patiently.
Please state your full name.
Sarah Cates.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Okay.
Arca, whenever you are ready.
Yeah. So subject property, street address 661 Park Boulevard East, roll number 100062360000. Basically, it's a two-story single dwelling in South Tuxedo. Both applicant and I have been negotiating yesterday afternoon as well as this morning, and we have agreed on a recommended value. And at this time, I would like to present a recommended value of $1,600,000 for subject property.
And that is based on
Evidence of comparable sales, as well as evidence received from the inspection of the subject property.
I'm sorry, Arca, I missed the last part.
Evidence, subject property was inspected yesterday afternoon, and that's based on the evidence of inspection of the subject property.
And did you yourself inspect the property?
No, it was another assessor doing the inspection.
In this case, you are accepting the offer of a recommendation of $1,600,000.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you. Does this matter? And 154 Morley Avenue. Yeah.
Yep, just disconnecting now. Mr. Sims, I will just affirm you here. Please state your full name.
$1,600,000. Yes. All right, thank you.
Mr. Sims, if you please state your full name.
Yes, it's Trevor Sims.
And do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Sims.
Good morning.
We'll just start with the assessor.
And yes, it will be item number 13, right? So 154 Morley.
Mr. Chair? Sure. Sure.
Mr. Sims, I will just affirm you here. Please state your full name. If you don't-
Trevor Sims.
Sorry, if you turn your YouTube off, you have it on the background, so we're getting some feedback there.
Okay. There. Is that all right?
That's all right.
Okay. Yeah. Full name is Trevor Sims.
That's okay. We've done that part, and the assessor is just going to continue beginning their presentation.
Okay. Pardon me.
So subject property is 154 Morley Avenue. Roll number 1201223900. It's 1 3/4 story single dwelling, built in 1909 with 1945 effective year built. 1,080 square feet with a full basement and no basement finish. 1 full bathroom and 1 half bathroom. Has central air conditioner, and as far as detached structures in ground, swimming pools or sunrooms, there is no such thing. So lot size 2,501 square foot. Land influences, bus route, bus stop, external corner, and the light traffic. 2023 assessment is $261,000. 4 comparables are all in the same neighborhood area as subject property in Riverview. First 2 comparables and 1 3/4 story. The last 2 comparables are 2 stories. So comparable number 1 is 242 Morley Avenue, 1 3/4 story single dwelling, built in 1907 with 1942 effective age. Slightly smaller at 941 square feet with a part basement and no basement finish. 1 bathroom and no central air conditioner and no detached structures. Same lot size, and for land influences, it has a bus route and the light traffic. Property sold in August of 2019, and the time adjusted sale price is $237,300. It being a smaller property, it would most likely be adjusted upwards for size and be supporting this assessed value of such property. Next property is 244 Morley Avenue, 1 3/4 story single dwelling, built in 1907 with effective age of 1937. Again, smaller property, 990 square feet, full basement, no basement finish. 1 full bathroom, 1 half bathroom, no central air conditioner, and it has a detached multiple car garage. Same lot size and similar influences such as bus route and light traffic. Property sold in 2019 for $249,900. Time adjusted value is $270,000, which $270,600, which again supports the assessed value. 229 Morley Avenue is a 2-story single dwelling, built in 1907 with 1955 effective year built. Very close in size to subject property at 1,059 square feet. Full basement, no basement finish, only one full bathroom, no central air conditioner, and no detached structures. Very similar lot size at 2,502 square feet. Similar land influences, bus route and light traffic. Time adjusted sale price $288,900. And the last comparable is 1907. Oh, sorry, 218 Morley Avenue. It's a two-story single building, built in 1907 with effective year build of 1932. Again, it's a smaller house at 928 square foot. Part basement, no basement finish, one full bathroom, one half bathroom. It has central air conditioner similar to subject property and no detached structures. Same size for lot and similar land influences. Time adjusted sale price $250,000. $250,400. Again, adjusting upwards for sites would support the assessed value. Okay, and next page is a map of comparables and subject property. They're all on Morley, and the more east you are from Osborne would be considered a more desirable area on Morley. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Sims, do you have any questions of what the assessor has just presented?
Yes, I just wanted to, first of all, say that I think the assessor's done quite a good job of coming up with comparables, which when initially I challenged this, I thought that perhaps there was more variation worthy of discussion. And with the initial assessment, I see that now all of the comparables are on the Riverview side of the Osborne. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And does the again, it's a question of curiosity. Does two-story the assessed values? Does like I guess the question is, I noticed there are 3 1 3/4 story buildings and 2 2-story buildings, and are the 2-story buildings are they comparable given that they're 2-story rather than 1 3/4?
Well, they are the best next thing available, given that 2-story buildings would have full ceiling height on the second floor, whereas 1 3/4 stories would typically have a lower ceiling height at the edge of the gable, at the edge of the roof, and would typically normalize the ceiling height closer to the center. That's the only difference.
Okay, and I noticed to draw both
my apologies. I believe, am I the only one who experiencing a major lag in transmission?
No, it's freezing. So we're experiencing the same thing. Sorry.
is there anything I can do to help with the freezing?
So carry on for now. We might have to get you to turn your camera off, just so your audio comes through a bit better. But carry on for now, and if we experience some freezing or some lagging again, we'll try and make some changes.
Sure. So the question was around the the full and half baths that it just wanted to explore that as well, that obviously all the homes comparables have a full bath, and then two of them have a half bath in them, and mine has a half bath. So again, question around comparable, if if there is no half bath, then they'd be a little bit less valuable.
Yeah, that's right. I guess train of thought there, that half bath typically is an extra half bath is a more desirable feature in the house.
Okay. And was the regional, I noticed from my analysis that the regional change was 6%, whereas the change to the assessed value of the subject property was 8.8% increase. Whereas there was, and with the comparable.
Mr. Sims, we just had you freeze there again, if you can hear us.
Comparables, I believe that you had okay, shall I repeat that?
Yeah, you might have to repeat it. Just maybe turn off your camera, and
Sure.
that improves the
Audio.
yeah.
How's that?
Coming through clear right now.
Good. Okay. The question was around the regional, essentially, where I guess where I'm going with this is that the regional change was 6%, whereas the subject property was 8.8, which I think is excessive given the regional property. And then with the comparables, there was quite a range of assessed value increases on the comparables that I used initially. I'm not sure whether the increased comparables which have been provided here by the assessor are of the same magnitude, the regional changes, because when I looked at it, they ranged between 3.8% all the way up to 12.8, but they typically, 3.8, 7.9, 7.4, 12.8. So I thought that my increase was on the high end of those increases. So again, I'm just kind of questioning the increase, like such a large increase.
Yeah, no, I can answer that. So basically, when you look at and the city of Winnipeg does provide some sort of information as to what you call a regional increase, but in reality, it should be more probably addressed as average increase for the market area. So that average increase that you see 6% consists of increases of all sorts of residential dwellings, whether that be one-story bungalows, bi-levels, 2 stories. So it takes a whole group and it provides an average number. Let's say some properties increase 20%, others increase 2%. Some properties for some reason decreased in assessed in value. So all of those numbers combined and divided by the total number of properties in that area would give you a 6%. So it's not a value to look at that say it's 6%, so every single property assessed value changed 6%. No, it's just a overall guideline figure, which is probably more can be confusing. But in reality, bungalows typically would change change market value at a different rate as a 2 stories. However, this being a average calculation for the entire region, it would include all of the properties, building types for residential purposes.
Okay, I'll just turn off my video here again. And actually, that answer,
Mr. Sims, you
sec-
froze on.
sorry, anyways, the final question I have for the assessor is whether the comparable properties, if there was recent upgrades made to them, or substantial renovations.
Based on the effective age that provided, and from my recollection, I tried to look at properties that haven't had major renovations, and the sale price would also indicate that. NCA Riverview typically goes at 350 plus value for renovated properties, so those would most likely be dated. But yeah, like I do not have the concrete MLS listings in front of me to tell you exactly what happened or what did not happen for those properties.
All right. I think that that kind of answers all my questions, and then
Okay, thank you. And we'll proceed. We're going to ask our questions, Mr. Billington.
I have no questions.
And Ms. Branson?
No questions.
And I have no questions. The floor is yours, Mr. Sims, if you'd like to give us your presentation.
will the video work this time? Let's see.
Oh.
So essentially, as I mentioned earlier, I thought that the assessor had done quite a good job of bringing up comparables, improving on the first go around, and explaining it as well.
Mr. Sims, you've frozen on us again. We might need you to turn your video off, see if that improves things. I have to ask.
My questions, I think that I'm leading into it.
Sorry, Mr. Sims, got your video off there. Okay.
The assessor had explained quite well how the regional average or regional averaging works, and so essentially my presentation and my request is that the subject property, given that they seem to be quite comparable, however, I would like to see it at the regional change, just based on area averages. So I'm proposing approximately 254,000 assessed value at that property, rather than the 261, which is almost 50% higher than the average.
Okay, thank you. Arthur, did you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
No questions.
Ms. Branson?
No questions.
Okay. Sir, I just have a couple of questions for you, Mr. Sims. Is this your main residence?
154 Morley is a rental property of mine.
Okay. And what is the rent you were charging on that?
$1,575
And
per month.
Is that including utilities?
No.
So you are paying for the utilities on it?
No, that's the
homeowner,
the renter is paying utilities.
Okay, thank you. And do you happen to know the previous assessment on your property?
I don't. I'm just going with the 2021 assessed value of which is 240,000. That's the 2021 value,
Okay, thank you.
and which is, I believe it's indicated. Oh yeah, it isn't indicated in the analysis that the assessor presented. And I'm sorry that I'm skipping over your name. Mr. Assessor, I can read it, but I know I'm gonna fumble it. So my apologies.
That is all my questions regarding this property. Thank you, Mr. Sims.
Most welcome.
And we can move on to 134 Monk Avenue. And Arca, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so subject property is located at 134 Monk Avenue, roll number 0609056700. It's in Norwood West area of the city. It's a two-story single dwelling built in 1912 with 1922 effective year built. 1,770 square feet of living area. It's a full basement. It has a full basement and it doesn't have basement finish. It has one full bathroom, does not have central air conditioner, and it has one fireplace and a detached single car garage. 6,000 square feet for lot size. 2023 assessment is $353,000. Comparables are 4 comparables selected are all in the Norwood West area of the city, similar to subject property. Comparable number 1 is on 199 Birchdale Avenue. It's a two-story single dwelling built in 1912 with 1952 effective year build. 1,712 square feet. Basement type is full part area. It has basement finish. 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms, and 1 shower. No central air conditioner, no fireplaces. It has a multiple detached garage. Similar lot size, just 3 square foot less, basically 5,997 square feet. Time adjusted sale price $447,300. It does have extra features compared to subject property in a way of larger garage, basement finish, slightly bigger effective year built, which means that property has had probably more renovations done than subject property. However, it is all reflected in the sale price of $410,000 or time adjusted sale price of $447,300. Comparable number 2 is 139 Ashdale Avenue, 2-story single dwelling. It's a newer built, 1948 built with the same year effective age. Smaller house, 1,320 square feet. It's full basement and has a basement finish, 2 full bathrooms. It has central air conditioner and a single car garage. Similar lot size to subject property, just 8 square feet less. Time adjusted sale price $369,400. Again, it's a newer house. However, it's smaller. It's a smaller house. So if it was a similar size, it would sell for more than time adjusted price of $369,000. However, if it was older, it would also lose some value and be around $353,000 in my opinion. Next property is 157 Monk. And the reason why I use this property is because it is on Monk. It's 1.5-story single dwelling, unlike subject properties 2-story, so slightly inferior house. Built in 1939 and 1939 effective year build. 1,428 square feet living area, so it's slightly less than subject property. Full basement and it has basement finish. It has extra half a bathroom. It has a central air conditioner and similar to subject property, single car garage, very similar lot size, slightly less than subject property by 13 square feet. Time adjusted sale price $335,700. Again, it being having extra features and being newer but yet smaller, it would appear that it would also support the subject property assessment of $353,000. And the last comparable is 202 Ferndale, built a two-story single dwelling 1909 with 1944 year built. Slightly larger than subject property at 1,988 square feet. It has a full basement and the basement finish, 2 full bathrooms, 1 half bathroom, and central air conditioner, 1 fireplace. It has multiple car garage, and it has a larger lot size of 7,197 square feet. Back lane as an influence, and all of those extra superior features are reflected in price. So subject price, comparable number 4 sold for time adjusted $497,000. Time adjusted sale price. So providing adjustments for age, condition of subject property, and looking at for comparables provided, it would appear that the $353,000 of assessed value would be supported. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Sims, do you have any questions of what the assessor has presented?
Yes. As I made at the beginning with getting comparables within the neighborhood. So thank you. And so my questions are essentially surround the influence of newer renovation. Like my house is quite original. And I think that I don't want to answer for the assessor, but it seems that he had adjusted for the fact, or had considered partially anyways, that my house is a 1922 effective year built, whereas all of the other homes are more recently upgraded. Is that correct?
Well, I wouldn't say recently upgraded, but they have been upgraded to the extent to justify some effective age higher than yours. And it would appear that all of the condition better features of the comparable sales are well reflected in the sale price of comparable sales.
And all of the comparables have more bathrooms than my place, which is 1. And so I'm wondering, are those facts included in the assessment?
Well, the property record indicates that your property only has 1 full bathroom. Comparables do show more bathrooms than your property. And all of those extra features, as I have stated, are reflected in the sale price of the comparables. They did sell for more money. If you were to adjust it backwards, it would go back and support the assessed value of, like, if I am to subtract, for example, adjust for bathrooms and adjust for some nicer, I guess, perhaps newer flooring in the house. All of those things would adjust for to just backwards to support the $353,000 in assessed value.
So if I understand correctly, you're suggesting that you're acknowledging that my house is quite original if I'm understanding. But you
Yes,
factored that in.
it is. I am acknowledging that your property is more original than the comparables.
All right, thank you.
Is that all your questions, Mr. Sims?
One final question, and I think the assessor had explained, and it was the, maybe I'll just state it, that the regional average was 9%, whereas the increase in my assessed
Mr. Sims, I think we might have lost you there.
which is very. Sorry, could you repeat that?
You cut out on us there. Would you mind repeating?
Oh, sure. It's that, maybe I'll state it. It's not a question, but I state that the regional change is 9%. However, my place, the assessed value is increased by 16.9%, which is almost double the regional change.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, which strikes me as excessive.
I guess I provided the answer to his question about it in the previous for the previous property on Morley, and my answer would be the same, that average information of average percent change is exactly what it is average, and it consists of various properties, various residential properties, various building types, all ages, all all conditions, and it's a basic mathematical calculation of dividing one by another to arrive at average. Each individual property would have its individual rate of change based on its property characteristics and condition and other features.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have no questions.
And Ms. Branson?
No questions.
And I have no questions of the assessor. Mr. Sims, if you'd like to give us your presentation on this property?
Certainly. So again, I think my presentation has involved the question.
Mr. Sims,
The assessor, sort of still cutting?
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try and keep it very brief. I know I'm starting to get hungry for lunch here, as I'm sure you all are, but essentially the presentation will flow down to, call it a request that you consider it as proposed value of 329, which is the area average change, rather than the, I'll say, excessive change of 16.9% increase, based essentially on my exploratory questions with the assessor, and that there's some room for error there, in my opinion, that or call it wiggle room.
Thank you. Arca, did you have any questions?
I guess, Mr. Sims, did you provide any, like, in the report, I guess in the information you provided, so are those comparable sales or are those assessments?
those were the comparables that were derived from the city's website and my initial research, which led me directly to those comparables.
Those are assessed values, right? Those are not sales.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think you're correct. I was going off of the city's website there, and it led me to these as comparables, the ones that I provided you, some of which are in common with the assessed the comparables that you provided, like let's see, the Birchdale was the same, Ashland was the same, and then I didn't have the same. 157 Monk did not have that, and
Mr. Sims,
I'm not sure. It's hard to tell.
Mr. Sims?
yes, I'm here.
Yes, I'm just going to interject here. I think you provided us with assessments, have you not? These look like assessments, 2021, 2023 for both of your properties.
That's correct. And
Right.
those I obtained from the city website under the comparables that were being used.
So we don't look at assessments, Mr. Sims. We only look at sales.
Okay, that's
Okay.
news.
Just to let you know, it was in the preamble.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you have anything else to add?
I didn't have any more questions to the applicant.
Don't? Okay, thank you. Mr. Belinkie?
No questions.
And Ms. Branson?
No questions.
Okay, Mr. Sims, is 134 Monk your primary residence?
Yes.
Okay, and you haven't upgraded anything in your home since the last assessment year?
No.
So you have original kitchen, bathrooms,
That's right.
or bathroom? Okay.
Just one. Yeah.
And so you were looking for a reduction to 329, just to clarify?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, if no one has any other questions, thank you. Leave it with us, Mr. Sims. And thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thanks so much. And I hope you all have an excellent weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye. And panel, we are just going to take a 5-minute recess. And I'd like to call this meeting back to order. We are going to go to the last item in our docket, which is 107 Craigmore Drive. And Arca, could you please hear this property, please?
Mark, I believe you're on mute.
Yes, I am on mute.
You are.
So I guess you didn't hear anything I said.
So Arca,
Yes.
to address the last item on the docket, 107 Craigmore Drive, if you could just lead us through it, thank you.
Right. So subject property is 107 Craigmore Drive, roll number 0309124190. It's in Richmond West neighborhood, 2-story single dwelling, 2005 year build, 1,837 square feet, full basement finish, 1 full bathroom, 3 half bathrooms, 1 shower, central air conditioner, multiple attached garage. It has an in-ground swimming pool. And lot size is 5,270 square feet. 2023 assessed value is $485,000. The four comparables used in this brief are all located in Richmond West neighborhood. They're all two-story single dwellings, and the comparable number 4 is a subject property sale. They're all very similar, except for subject property has an in-ground swimming pool, and the comparable 1, 2, and 3 do not have it. Comparables 1, 2, and 3, as well as subject sale, support the assessed value of $485,000, and I ask the board to maintain the value. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Arca, did you have any contact with the homeowner?
Not to my recollection, no.
Okay, thank you. And be it noted that the applicant did not appear at this hearing. So all items on the docket have been heard and dealt with this morning. And this hearing is adjourned. And I thank you, Arca, for your time.
Thank you. All right, so you have a good rest of the day.
You too.